What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have a pretty fun battle submission once again from Iron Rolling Stone, a featured player earlier this week, but they're going to be in the Great League this time bringing a Smoochum. And when I saw this submission, I'm just like, I need to shoutcast that. I want to see what it's capable of. Obviously, it's going to be an XL. I don't know how many levels they have it powered up, but it's definitely well under 1500 combat power, but a Smoochum in the Great League. Let's get into it. All right, getting into the first battle, we have Obstagoon on the lead versus Medicham. Okay, so this is a bad lead, and they're going to go ahead and swap into that Smoochum. This is absolutely hilarious. Now, they're taking quite a bit of damage here from counter. I believe they're Psychic Ice typing right here, and the Psy Shot going through does get a shield, which is actually pretty impressive, and now they're going to try to go for another one as the Medicham was trying to commit to the full farm down. But even though Smoochum is going down here, it fulfilled two things. It kept the distance away of Obstagoon into Medicham, and it took Medicham one shield and down to 20% HP. That is huge. Now we will see Obstagoon come in. All right. They're going to go ahead and no shield. This is very interesting. Clearly, they're reading that the opponent is weak in the back to Frostlass, and we do see a swap out now into Noctowl. So that is definitely a twist of events, I'm going to say. We will see a counter swap now into Frostlass to load up on energy. I really wouldn't have thought. It took me by surprise. This is the first time I'm watching these battles just like you guys. I don't pre-watch the shoutcasted submissions. I just shoutcast them for fun, and we see what we get. Obstagoon coming into Medicham, that was pretty daring right there, as we will see an Avalanche now connect onto the Noctowl. Frostlass is, Medicham I should say, is coming back in, and Frostlass is in a clear position to sweep, as they will give up a shield on the Psychic, and now a full farm down might be in place as Powder Snow takes down the Medicham, and the final Pokemon is gonna be a Charizard, so no wonder they were so scared of Smoochum, as we will now see Avalanche land for an incredible amount of neutral damage. Here comes another Avalanche to force that final shield, and then it's going to be up to Obstagoon to really close this game out as they decide to counter swap, trying to go for a Night Slash, but no, Charizard is able to get to, I'm guessing, the Dragon Claw here in time, which is enough to take out Obstagoon, but Frostlass can Powder Snow down. Oh no! Okay, it's just Dragon Claw. They survive. They survive right there. I thought that was going to be Blast Burn. I was about to give you guys a big boom, but that is going to be a good game. All right. I still would have thought that Frostlass would have come in and just loaded up on energy against Medicham, but we do have a Shadow Swampert this time here on the lead, so this is going to be a swap out now into Frostlass, as they are considering maybe something in the back is weak to Obstagoon, but we will have to find out, as Frostlass now is going to be throwing off the first charge move, forcing the first shield of this game. Now, Swampert obviously is basically going to one-shot here with Hydro Cannon, so they got to be very careful, and they will give up shield number 1 here. And now let's see if they give up shield number 2. Okay, I think Frostlass can barely survive this Hydro Cannon, but it's going to be extremely close. Yeah, they do survive right there with actually a good amount of health. And in comes, I believe that was a Charizard right there. So Shadow Ball now is going to look to connect to do a ton of damage, but no, they decided to shield. And now it's going to be up to Smoochum and Obstagoon to close this game out. And they will go for Ice Punch, and they win CMP tie. Okay, maybe Charizard went for the extra wing attack. I really didn't see right there. And it KOs. Boom! Down goes a Charizard from a Smoochum. Unless he would decide to come in, it is going to be Swampert. Now, I think that Charizard was lower combat power, if I saw that correctly. Maybe you guys did too. I mean, granted, this trainer is a bit lower down in terms of its rating compared to his overall rating for the season. He is legend, but he's gone down a little bit, and I'm guessing that's because of using Smoochum here. But we will see an Ice Punch come through. Again, if you're watching this, please do not invest in a Smoochum. This is just fun, wholesome battles to see what it could potentially do, but by no means invest your Stardust. If you're going to invest your Stardust into something, it needs to be something like Obstagoon and Frostlass from this team. Those are very two strong Pokemon in this meta, as it can survive a Sky Attack and look to go for the full farm down right here. It's going to be close. I think Noctowl is going to get countered down in time, but ultimately this is going to be a very close one. No, they get countered down. Smoochum is going to come in and close it out. Okay, I don't know why they didn't throw a charge move there, but maybe just wanted to KO with Smoochum. Who knows, but that's going to be a good game. All right, moving to the next one, we have Obstagoon versus Venusaur here on the lead. So 2 great counters in the back, and we will see Frostlass swap in right away and get ahead on energy. Now, the opponent not swapping out is obviously a big tell. They need to shield up this Frenzy Plant because whatever is in the back is probably going to be weak, and they need to get rid of this Venusaur here as they're deciding now to swap out into a Frostlass Mirror. That is dangerous. They're going to go ahead and go for Avalanche here, and the opponent having 2 shields might just give away 1. No, they called the bait as they go for the no shield right there. That was a huge call by the opponent. Here comes the Shadow Ball now to get the must-needed shield in that matchup. They're going to go ahead and let this go. They can come in with Obstagoon here. They'll tank 1 Avalanche, but ultimately I think they might be able to farm down with counter. It's going to be close. Yeah, they're going to get hit with 1 Avalanche. And if they try to commit to full farm down, they're going to get hit with 2. So an Obstagoon in this situation needs to throw a Night Slash here. Yeah, they go ahead and go for the Night Slash. Get rid of the Frostlass. And then Smoochum, will we see a sweep? Let's find out. Frostlass goes down. Venusaur is likely coming back in. Let's see what decides to come in. Yeah, it is going to be the Venusaur. They're going to go ahead and go for Night Slash. And Venusaur now is very, very close to a Frenzy Plant, if not already having it. And they give up the final shield. What is going to be in the back? Maybe Galarian Stunfisk. They get to another Night Slash. It's going to be a Wall Rain in the back. So Smoochum, can you take this one? Let's see if Smoochum can face off against a Wall Rain and a Venusaur. They need to have an Ice Punch basically ready to go for Venusaur. And we're going to see if Smoochum can win CMP tie. I doubt it will. So Psyshock is going to be able to land. And this Earthquake as well. Oh, this is tough. They're going to shield the Earthquake. And now this is a very dangerous situation where they can't overload too much on energy. They have to have double Ice Punches. They're going to go for the Psyshock. But do they have enough energy now for an Ice Punch versus Venusaur? We're going to find out. No, they don't. Unfortunately, one fast move away as Venusaur will take him out with Frenzy Plant, and Obstagoon is going to go down, and they decide to surrender. So that's going to be a good battle. Close one right there. But had Smoochum swept that game, props to it, but ultimately it just didn't have the bulk. All right, we got Umbreon here on the lead, so a very positive matchup. And they're looking to just load up on energy and go for a Cross Chop here. Cross Chop, really nice to have. I know you got other options in terms of charge moves like Gunk Shot, Hyper Beam, Obstruct potentially. But ultimately, in the Great League, Night Slash and Cross Chop is your best bet for coverage. Ultra League, I said Great League. Ultra League is where it gets a little bit different, potentially, depending on your team, because there's more bulk for Obstagoon. But in the Great League, you want to have Night Slash, you want to have Cross Chop. And they must be very weak in the back to Obstagoon if they're staying in with Umbreon right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a Trevenant back there. That makes a really good pairing for Umbreon. So let's see what it's going to be. It's going to be a Stunfisk. Okay, we'll see a Frostlass safe swap, and the Stunfisk is deciding to stay into a matchup where it's going to get destroyed by an Avalanche and Powder Snow. Again, I'm reading Trevenant potentially in the back just based on the fact that they stayed in against Umbreon, or the Umbreon stayed in against Obstagoon, as we will now see an Avalanche land here, or get shielded, I should say. And another charge move coming through. They're going to go ahead and no shield it. If they're weak to Frostlass in the back, they're weak to Smoochum. So giving 2 shields either to Obstagoon or to Smoochum here is going to be the play, as Frostlass can land multiple charge moves and put pressure. Takes out, and it is a Trevenant in the back. That makes it's so obvious. I'm going to be honest. It is so obvious. If you have an Obstagoon into Umbreon, that you don't swap out because there is a Trevenant in the back. So we will see Obstagoon take this one in Night Slash. It's not going to one-shot, but I hope we see the Smoochum swap in. Let's see, the Kiss of Death. Smoochum swap in. No, they're deciding to stay in. Trevenant now going to go ahead and throw the charge move. Yeah, they're going to no-shield. Smoochum is going to sweep this up. Oh, man. The opponent's like, okay, I have a chance. No, you don't. It's Smoochum in the back. That's going to be a good game. Very well played. All right. Moving into the next one. We have... Oh, is that the final one? No. We got one more, I think. No, we got 2 more. Sableye here on the lead. Okay, so very positive lead right here, considering the backline is extremely weak to Sableye. So you obviously want Sableye to stay in this position. Now, the question is, do you give up a shield on return? And I think ultimately, it's probably going to be a no. Because if the Sableye is staying in, they can get shield pressure from the second Night Slash, and they don't necessarily, they survive a return right here. But it is actually a foul play shield bait, which is even better for Obstagoon now. So they can easily load up on some energy. This is going to be another foul play. I think that was a bit too quick for return. And then we will see the Obstagoon now put pressure on the shields here of Sableye. They're going to go ahead and undercharge it as well, looking to farm down with counter, and they might just be able to get it. So Obstagoon able to win lead Sableye's out of the game, which gives the backline an extreme win condition. We will see Frostlass now swap in, but say Galarian Stunfisk swaps in. Azumarill is a very tough Pokemon to handle with this team because you have to hit it with neutral damage with Shadow Ball and Psyshock. So this is a tough situation if you are the Frostlass, because ultimately you either need to let yourself completely go down and do as much damage as possible with Shadow Ball and Avalanche to try to get a shield here from Galarian Stunfisk, or you shield up, double shield Frostlass and try to put pressure on Azumarill. But the Azumarill is going to be coming in and fully farming down. This is so tough, as Avalanche now is going to do some chip damage, but it's going to be up to Smoochum versus an Azumarill. They get a shield, though. That's huge. They were one Powder Snow away from a Shadow Ball, so that shield is absolutely massive, and they're going to go ahead and go for Night Slashes here. Night Slash and Cross Chop are both resisted, but at least Night Slash is stab, same type attack bonus, and Azumarill now is throwing the charge move, so now it is up to Smoochum with 2 shields versus an Azumarill here. Bubble versus Psyshock ultimately, because they should just be able to double shield here, and it's going to be very interesting. Azumarill still, oh, they shielded the Hydro Pump. That is huge, trying to sneak through that one-shot charge move on a Smoochum, but safely able to shield it as Psyshock does land for a good amount of damage, and now they can safely go for Ice Punches because the opponent still has a shield. Oh, they're going to go for the Ice Punch here. This is risky. This is risky. Here we go. Let's see if they decide to shield. They do. Beautiful. And they can now go for the Psyshock. Safely shield this charge move. And that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Ice Beam will not be able to connect. And a Smoochum takes down an Azumarill in the Great League. What a close battle right there. But ultimately, good game. That's pretty fun. All right. Moving into the next battle. We have... Let's see what we got here. We got Obstagoon versus Medicham again. Okay, let's see what they decide to do this time. This time they're going to swap into Frostlass, and we will see a Registeel swap in. So this is actually a good situation for Frostlass, where if they want to, I don't think it's tough, because you could go for Switch, but Medicham only shield the Shadow Ball. Medicham can do so well against Smoochum and Obstagoon, so you got to come out of here with energy and switch advantage, and Zap Cannon got the attack debuff, which is really unfortunate here for Frostlass. Thankfully, they can still land another Shadow Ball to do a good amount of chip damage and have Obstagoon really come in and load up on energy. But ultimately, Frostlass might be the key to victory here. They're going to let it go, so we'll have to see if Smoochum can handle the backline as Focus Blast does land, but they didn't go for Zap Cannon. That's very interesting, because Zap Cannon would have been enough, I think, right there to potentially take out, especially with the added lock-ons. So now Frostlass has an opening, gets a Shadow Ball off, and gets a second shield, and the opponent is forced to throw, which means Obstagoon can come in. They're going to shield the Zap Cannon as well. Go for the Focus Blast that next time. This is all good learning lessons. They can go ahead and go for Shadow Ball now, and this is tough because Medicham could come in and fully counter down, which means I don't think they get to the Shadow Ball in time. Trevenant comes in. They're able to land the Avalanche here. This is huge. They need to swap into Smoochum right away to get ahead on energy. Oh, actually, they could come in with Obstagoon and load up. Yeah, they're going to come in with Obstagoon and load up on energy. You want to have Night Slashes ready to go for Medicham. But yes, in that battle with Registeel, I know we're at a rating right here where it's more common as trainers are learning. But when you have that Zap Cannon, you got the debuff, you need to throw the next one because they're likely not going to invest 2 shields. And the Zap Cannon does that neutral damage, and it would have been just enough to take out Frostlass. Whereas you saw them go for Focus Blast, it was heavily resisted, and then Frostlass had an opportunity. And we get a boost! Frostlass had an opportunity to recover and shield that next charge move. So we will see a swap out into Smoochum now, and a race to the Ice Punch. And, well, I guess the typing here is going to, unless this is Dynamic Punch, No, it's going to be Psychic. I was going to say Resist Psychic, which is huge. So now Ice Punch might just be enough to take out the Medicham. And then Trevenant is extremely low, so they will be able to fast move down. And Smoochum sweeping right there. That is a good game. Very well played. What a fun set of battles right here. Something unique that we never see in the Great League. I will say, if you guys are watching this video and enjoyed kind of what happened with these Pokemon, Obstagoon and Frostlass are both very, very good. And Smoochum is extremely spicy. Don't run Smoochum, but really fun to see. So shout out to I'm Rolling Stone. Thanks for sharing these battles with us, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.